Greetings and salutations. In this episode of the JDM TRD Projects and Enthusiasts channel, we will be taking a look at my other daily driver car, my Yaris Yrx, or otherwise known as a vitz in Japan, as it is a JDM vehicle and that's what they're called in Japan. This is built in Japan, so it's not, it is a real Japanese car. It's got the 1.5 litre engine. It's currently for sale, but we'll see if we really end up selling it. Sometimes we think about selling it to trade it in for a Prius or something like that, something that's got CVT and hybrid. So I will be posting this ad on the ad, like linking the video to the ad, I mean. Anyway, so as you can see, it has a body kit. Let's go over some of the extras that it currently has. So it's got this little awesome tip on the end there that gives it the extra little nice sound. That is removable easily though. Bought that for the car, so it's not a stock standard part there. It is from Ballarat City Toyota and a genuine country car. I've got all the documents to prove it. And it has logbooks and the manual and all that kind of stuff in here. So we've got all the books and that. Yep, it's in very good condition for its age, since it's a 10-year-old car now, since it's the year 2016, now that's a 2006. Yeah, it's got aftermarket wheels, body kit. I need to reshine up the headlights, but yeah, I'll do that soon. I just washed it. I'm just trying to show you that I've installed, let's see if I can get rid of the glare, LED park lights. See there? Cree LED park lights, they're the expensive type. Yeah. Couple of tiny little stone chips, as to be expected for a country car that's been on the freeway driving behind, and a few minor scratches from clear coat scratches. Anyway, I bought these Altezza aftermarket taillights, which are just awesome, but I still have the original taillights and all the original parts for the car. Let's take a look in the back seat here. This is the back of it. It's all very cool. The seat goes back and forward. See? It's sliding back and forward seats. Let's have a look at what you can do is you can fold all the seats back. And there's a lot of room in the boot. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of room when you don't fold the seats back, but when you put the seats forward and fold them back, oops. And yep. Front seat's in the way. Okay, so the seats fold back like that, if you want them to. It's got this part comes out, as you can see. And you could fit really large things in there. You could go shopping and buy lots of really big stuff, like a washing machine or small fridges, and go to Bunnings, go to the warehouse shop and do lots of shopping. It's got a spare tyre and all that stuff in there that's supposed to be there. Yeah, the tyre is I'll just put some plastic bags. It's one of the mag wheels, so it's got 5 of them. It's got this cool feature here where this folds up, see? So that flips forward like that, right, to cover that, so you don't, get stuff in the wrong place or whatever. So that's a super cool feature that the car has. I can fit quite large things in the back here. Put a sunshade on the back there. Alright, let me just close those doors. Pick the seat. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, put the seat back, and I'll just open up the engine bay and show you what we've done there. The engine sounds healthy. It sounds like what they're supposed to sound like. What I have done is installed a K&N in airbox filter, which I can remove, of course, and put the standard filter back on. Yeah, so in there's a K&N thing. I put the K&N sticker there, and on the inside, I'm not going to really open it up and show you right now because it's running, but inside that box there's one of those K&N panel filters. Looks like I need to detail the engine. Put a TRD oil cap on the top there, and it's got all the right fluids and stuff, sounds good, runs fine, always starts first time and everything like that. Yeah, put that back down. I did have some aftermarket wipers on there, but I've put them back to the originals. Alright, now let's have a look at the inside and what I've done here. I've installed a ODB2 scan gauge. It's the cheaper version called Turbo Gauge, and that one there tells you the litres per 100 kilometres for the fuel economy. Of course you can set it to imperial or whatever. It's actually from America and I had to set it to metric. The MAF, so the mass airflow, the engine temperature, engine Celsius temperature, that's what that stands for, RPM. I thought it was 209,000, but it's just clocked over to 210,000. But this country K is from Ballarat. First owner, I'm only the second owner, and the first owner was from Ballarat. So yeah, obviously country K's means it's been on the freeway, driving between Ballarat and Melbourne for 90% of its life, from what we can tell from the documentation and all the stuff that we found inside the car. So what that basically means is that, just say you saw one with like 80,000 Ks that was in the city and lived in the city its whole life, that would actually be more worn out than this. See, people don't understand, a lot of the people don't understand. People from the country do understand this, but city people don't get that if you live in the country, your car's going to have more Ks on it from driving longer distances, but you're not stop-starting, it's not stop-start traffic, right? You're just cruising at 100 the whole time. Also, I've got a house in the country, and I since I bought it at about, I've only done 10,000 Ks in it since I bought it, and so I've done like 10 trips with this car to my house in the country, and that's why I've clocked up an extra 10,000 Ks on it there. Now I've put this aftermarket stereo on there, which is the same one that's in my Celica, which is a really good one. See, so it has GPS, it's got two USBs, SD port, discs, it plays DVDs, you can plug a TV in it, it's got radio, it's got Bluetooth as well, right, GPS there, which has got this really cool screen here which shows you some awesome information like your speed, the speed limit where you are, tells you when you're speeding, says you're over the speed limit and stuff like that. It's got steering wheel controls for the radio, but I do still have the original stereo, which was a 6-disc CD stacker Toyota REM model. And so basically at the moment I'm trying to sell this car for $4,999 or $5,000 basically. And but if anybody wants it cheaper, they can have it for $4,500 without the stereo, without the K&N air filter, and without the Altezza tail lights. But I'll leave the other little bits on there. If they want it cheaper than that, they can have it maybe a tiny bit cheaper, but I'll be taking, if you want, like, we'll negotiate, but I'll be taking off the I'll take off the rego and the plates. Yeah, so I did have a roadworthy 2 months ago because I recently gave this car to my mother, but we're, like, our family is the second owner, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so 2-owner car is pretty good. It's the newest car I've personally ever owned, and it's really nice and modern. I really like having the speedo in the middle. I've gotten used to it, and that's why I actually have put I've got the same speedo set up in the middle on my Celica now, because I'm actually used to it after driving it around. It's not inconvenient or annoying not to have it here, but I did also, that was one of the reasons why I bought that extra gauge and put that there. And because the car didn't come with a fuel economy gauge standard on this model, I think you could only get that on the real JDM, like top of the line RS model. Yeah, that's why I bought this gauge thing. So, but this also tells you, checks the health of the engine and checks the error codes and all that kind of stuff, which there are no problems, of course, with. So, but that's just a thing that anyway, this actually part here is not for sale. I mean, maybe I'd negotiate. If somebody said they'll give me the full $5,000, then I'd let them have this thing. But I didn't even mention it in the ad because to be honest, the next car we buy will go into. Unfortunately, my Celica doesn't work with the protocol of the ODB2 that this one works on. I have to get some special one because it's, that Celica runs on. It's a proprietary ODB2 type of protocol, so that's a bit unfortunate. I did want to move that component, the turbo gauge, to the Celica, But anyway, I think maybe the Series 2 Celica with facelift, which has an updated engine, I think that one. Or is also, if you live in America or UK and you get the GT, not the GTS Celica, so if you have the 1ZZFE engine, then this would work in it. But the Celica I've got is the equivalent to a GTS in America or the UK, because in Australia they did not sell the base model Celica. They were all only top models with the 2ZZGE, and see, it was the GE engine that had the proprietary Toyota protocols. It's got really cool features anyway, like this lights up here, but with that light dims off when you close the door like a European car. It's got heaps of storage, you know, you've got a cup holder there, you've got a cup holder here with a cigarette thing in there, you've got a little pocket here. Oh, that's the original sump plug. I've installed a magnetic sump plug on there to help the engine run more healthily. That attracts any magnetic, any metal particulates into the sump plug. It's like having an extra filter. Also, I've installed a premium oil filter on it and put the most expensive oil in the engine. There's a cup holder down there, there's a cup holder there, there's a cup holder there, there's a little pocket here with the books, see, another K&N sticker, pocket there, pockets there and there, perfect for, you know, spare keys or smokes and change and things like that, keys or whatever. Look at how much room there is in the back. It's extremely practical. I have no idea why everyone buys SUVs these days when the hatchbacks, even the smallest ones, are more practical, just as practically. Seriously, you only get like a few cubic centimeters extra space in an SUV than you do in a small hatchback. What they call a subcompact. I don't know why they call this a subcompact, because compared to a Japanese like K car, this is a huge, massive car. Japanese people do not consider these to be small cars. They consider them to be large cars, and what the rest of the world drives are just ridiculously massive cars. Now it's actually quite high off the ground. If I had kept this car for longer and kept modifying it, I would have put lowered suspension on it and then probably put 16-inch, 17-inch mags with lower profile tyres on it. It does have fog lights there. Hope I haven't forgotten anything. I'm trying to remember everything that I've done to the car. Yeah, but basically it's really friggin' awesome, and I love this car so much. I just wish that I could upgrade it to have hybrid and CVT technology, because yeah, we want a Prius, and that would make our lives easier, because there's like $100 a year rego discount on if you have a hybrid car in this country. It's not very much, but it's better than nothing, because rego is very expensive in this country. And so that's one of the reasons. The others, my mum doesn't like driving manuals, you know, as a lot of women don't like driving manuals, and some men even. But yeah, this is a 5-speed manual, obviously. The gearbox works perfectly, the brakes work perfectly. This has stability control when you're braking, just like the Celica does. It's called EDB, electronic brake, EBD, sorry, electronic brake force distribution. It's part of the ABS system, but it's not actually the ABS system. You see, if you just tap, whenever you put your foot on the brake, it detects, it's got speed sensors on each of the wheels, and it detects if any of the wheels are not if they're going at a different speed, and applies a different amount of braking to it. This car also has ABS as well. So it's like the first generation of stability control, but it only happens when you put your foot on the brake. And as far as I'm concerned, that's actually the best type. Why would you want stability control when you're accelerating? That's actually a really stupid feature, and I'd only ever own a newer car that has that if you could turn it off, and then I would turn it off and never have it on, because it makes your car go slower and use more fuel to have stability control on while you're accelerating. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, if I'd kept this car longer, I would have bought aftermarket, you know, black smoke headlights to make it sort of like the way my Celica is, yeah. But anyway, that probably wraps it up. I'll when I upload this video to YouTube, I'll include a bunch of photos and stuff like that as well. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed this video from the JDM TRD channel. Please stay tuned for more videos, subscribe, share with your friends. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know if we'll ever do any more videos about this car, since I'm probably going to be selling it. But yeah, if you're one of the people who's interested in buying it, you should definitely buy it. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to cars. I've looked after this car, I've done the servicing myself, and I'm very good at doing that. You know, not a troglodyte. I don't have to take my car to a mechanic to be fixed, because I know how to fix things. So, you know, you should buy it. And if you want one for $3,000, then go buy one of the base model 3-door YR models, because that's all you can get for that much, mate. Alright, see you later.